You've been going through a lot of great information. I hope you've been taking notes, and please leave them at the tables for us for afterwards. Right now, what we'd like to do is just have an opportunity for people to share what you've been discussing at your tables. Would anyone like to start? Betsy's got the microphone that she can come around and have any thoughts on anything in particular at your table, ideas and so forth that you'd like to share with us. There has to be someone.
Oh, please say your name and then your.
Hi, I'm I am not McPherson. I am Kieran McCann, and I live in McPherson. We're here at the leadership table, and we were discussing how to get more involvement in youth and leadership. So some of the challenges we were discussing is resistance from the youth, and a lot of what we've identified is the concern that they don't feel heard when they do speak, not knowing the next steps to take. So the ideas that we were bouncing around was mentoring, or like McPherson County leadership development, like something so that we can take advantage of the Kansas Leadership Center and get people speaking the same leadership language. So that as different organizations and cities in McPherson County are coming together like we are here, we can really make a lot of headway by using the same leadership language going forward. And then just like, one-on-one with youth, hey, I'm going to this board meeting, do you want to come with me? Like, I'll buy you food is how I get my siblings to get involved, honestly, while you come. And get them exposed to the process early, and so that when they are ready to get involved, if there's something they get passionate about, they understand how that process works, so they don't get discouraged when they finally do speak up, and it still takes time afterwards. I think that summarizes things pretty well that we went over. Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'm Dan Lichty, and at our table we talked about childcare quite a bit. And the Community Foundation told us that we need to subsidize $500 to $1,000 per kid that we want to take care of. And so we talked about having a tax base, because that's the realistic long-term solution for child care. Grants are fine for the first year, and if there were a tax base that would subsidize child care worker salaries, it would be doable. We, on the McPherson School Board, have talked about this, but we realize that it's a money loser. As soon as we dive into that, we've got the buildings for it, we've got the funds for it, but we don't want to take the money loss every year. But if that subsidy were there, that we said, oh, we've got some money coming in, we've got the space, we've got the leadership to put that together, if we didn't lose money on it every year. And I think a tax base is the long-term way to go. We talked about mill levy. Our mayor says that's possible, and there is some support for sales tax, but tax-supported child care that is in the school system would go.
Anyone else? Getting my steps in.
Our table was about economic development, and we discussed supporting small businesses and how to further the message to youth coming up that, well, to everybody, that it's a circle of, you have to support the business that you want them to support you, like where you go to ask for donations and things. It's all relative, and that that we have a large manufacturing base, which is always recognized as having the most employees. But if you add together your small businesses, that's a large employer base as well, and that there aren't as many incentives for small businesses as there are for the large manufacturers. We also talked about the importance of communication between all entities. Lindsborg has a good example of how they meet. They started meeting on a monthly basis and they've gone into a weekly basis. It's all ad hoc. It's all the owners. They meet with city. They meet with volunteers, and they do this consistently. I think that's communication is something that hits all of the factors, that you have to do it on a regular basis. It can't just be an annual thing. We've talked about the issues that come from developing some of the downtown, the second stories, that one of the issues that has to be dealt with has been over the years a city turnover in departments, that consistency is better now, but in the past it always wasn't. It has been an issue before, so those are things that people have had to deal with, or a new person comes in and they're not experienced, so it kind of is like starting over. So that's something that we are seeing an improvement in, but it still needs improving. And then succession of business owners as they age out, and trying to work with them and finding someone to come and buy that business. And that we've had some very great examples here in McPherson of people who are selling and they're staying on to mentor the new owner and to keep that business going. And we also talked about loan incentives and things, gap funding that is available here and in McPherson County. But those are some of the issues we talked about, mainly small business development and how we could improve that.
Thank you, Ann.
Hi, I'm Monica Rice Fry, and our table was talking about community health and childcare. And I will say for me, a takeaway from our conversation was partnerships. I wrote it and I underlined it, that there needs to be community partnerships, knowing that this is important for everyone. But we brought up at our table this really important statistic, in my opinion, that's on both the city and the county. When asked if people were willing to get involved to improve the community, we saw 25 and 26% saying, yes, I'd be willing to. And I think that's a statistic that hopefully by the next benchmarking survey, that's a place we can improve. I don't know what they're thinking when they answer that. Maybe they're thinking it's too large. If I say yes, then I have to do everything in the community. Or if they just don't think they have the resources, or they don't live here. They say, oh, I don't live there, I don't need to. But I think we should explore that more and see if we can get that number up higher, that more people want to help improve our community.
Oh, I break microphones apparently. Sorry. Okay, thank you for those comments. So it's great information for us to take back to the office. And as we said in the beginning, we've said in the middle, we're going to say in the end, we're working to connect our grant dollars with all of these needs that you're describing. So this is not the end of this conversation. This is actually our beginning. This is our year one of the survey and this plan. So watch for more details in the future. The first thing is we want to do community conversations per priority. We'll start with Zoom meetings. We'll have in-person meetings. We'll get together. We'll talk. We're just going to keep talking and working. That's why it's important on your card. Please leave this with us. Your name, your email. On the back, identify the priorities. We've already had some say everything. Great. We love you. You are on the top of our list. But please be sure to put that information there so we can connect with you. If for some reason you get home, your card's with you and you forget, we do have cards. Our business card, Betsy's card, is in the packet, as well as you can find us on McPhersonFoundation.org. We need to stay connected with you. We truly appreciate you taking your morning and being with us. Other reminders, grant application deadline will be September 15. We showed you the information on how to go on and set up a login and then apply. Betsy's available. I can help somewhat. I'll probably turn it over to Betsy when it gets to the technical side. But it's a very easy application. But as she said, she gave you ideas, thoughts on how we can work together. Our typical amount is $10,000. But I don't want that to stop you. If there is a project that's bigger, talk to us. We have worked in the past to connect donors with larger projects. So don't let that amount be the only, don't pretend like that's the top. We're here to help find other dollars and so forth. We will be announcing the recipients on October 12th. And then our Philanthropist of the Year event is November 14th. That's another opportunity where we're going to talk about everything that's happened here. We're going to recognize the grant recipients. We want you to attend. Watch for that information. Again, it's Tuesday, November 14th. Mark your calendars. We usually start at 7 o'clock at the Opera House. The next time the survey will run, we've had a few of you say, when was this survey? Somehow you've missed it. We're sorry about that, but we want to make sure we capture you in the next round. We are planning to start at March 1 and run it through April 30 of 2024. So again, need your name, need your contact information so we can connect you and make sure if you did not participate that you are a participant in the future. Are there any questions? We're available for questions, comments. Our contact information is everywhere. I've got business cards here. If you want a business card, you can get a hold of us. We want to talk with you. We want to make sure that every dollar we give out is having an impact on our county.